Well, after the transfer window, we have had a slight improvement. We're scoring goals. We're getting some points on the board. We're still in the relegation zone, but I think our momentum is going to help carry us out, hopefully. Hey there, it's Mike. Welcome to Season 4, Episode 5 of Up the Ladder. We are here at MK Dons in the Sky Bet Championship. And since we were last together, we've only played 3 games, but form has been better. I mean, it couldn't get much worse after about a 10-12 game losing streak. But last time we were together, we had the match against Swansea where we lost 1-0 and then finally broke our huge, long losing streak with a 3-0 win against Brentford, with Chris Morgan being the unlikely hero scoring 3 goals. After that, we had another setback against Stoke, where we lost 2-1, that one coming in the 91st minute, so a little late for us. But then we had another 3-0 win, this time against Barnsley, with Chris Morgan scoring early. Kudus Noel McLeod, our loanee from Arsenal as a striker, getting his first goal for the club, and Edwin Anderson, our other loanee from Chelsea, scoring a goal as well to have us a 3-0 win. And then we lost 2-1 to Birmingham, where they scored a little bit later on. And so with all that, we are still in the relegation zone here, just on the edge of it. We are 4 points back now on QPR's. QPR has had some good form. Blackpool has plummeted to the bottom of the table, but we've got 2 huge games. First against Preston, who are sitting in 19th, 5 points ahead of us. A win against them will bring us just 2 points behind them in the tables, and the game against Sunderland, who are just 1 point behind us. So a loss to them could see them go above the table on us. So we've got a lot to play for here in today's games. And so first up, we are against Preston North End, and this is how we are lining up. Fisher will be in net. Bates comes back after, I think he was on vacation, injured. He comes back from injury to the right-hand side. Langston and O'Hara will be in the center D, and Lathrop will go over to that left-hand side. Riley's going to bump down into the defensive midfield position, with Griffiths coming up into the Metzkala. Barlow will be the box-to-box midfielder. Naismith comes in on the right-hand side. Anderson out on the left. And Noel McLeod continues up front for us. I am going to do some opposition instructions because that has been helpful, closing down those people on the out wide. In fact, we are even going to mark their striker. And that is what we're going to do for today's first match. I am recording early in the morning here, so we've got some coffee as we prepare for Preston North End, who seems to be struggling. The press conference said they were tipped to be favorites in the top of the league, and they are struggling down here on 18th. So hopefully they don't find some form against us, and instead we are able to string together at least 2 wins in a row. That's our next step here, or at least a draw. Naismith will have that ball as he carries it into the center of the field, and our beautiful Reds, all red. He gets tackled as he doesn't pass the ball, so now they come back the other way. Great tackle by O'Reilly that comes up to Lathrop. Lathrop will put it into the middle of Marlowe. Marlowe will go out wide to Naismith again. Naismith back to Marlowe, but he gives away the ball to Johnson, who's now coming down on the other hand side. Harris has all the space in the world, and he flubs it right into Fisher, and we get away with one there as 2 giveaways from Naismith. But now he has the free kick, which he will put in over to O'Hara, who will put it in, but it's offside. I don't think O'Hara was offside. I think one of our other players was offside. Is they going to show us the replay? See, O'Hara's way onside, but I will give it to them because Griffiths moved towards the ball. So unfortunately, I agree with that, though it is unfortunate for us. Preston now has the corner kick as Johnson will put that in. Anderson will clear it out only as far as Harris. It comes back to Ledson, who will put it in from the top of the 18-yard box. And Preston goes up 1-0. Johnson puts that in. Anderson comes out. Naismith just doesn't really seem to want to put the effort in to try to get that ball. And so there it is. Naismith, despite being on a 6.7 here, highlights he hasn't looked good. Brown puts that ball in. Bates will head it out. Only far as Johnson, who would take another shot from distance, rings it off the post, comes back to Fisher. They've had a couple of... Well, we are playing with a higher line, so I don't know how we're giving away those long shots. Probably that work rate of ours. Eventually the highlight ends, but now there's another free kick here for Preston as they start putting the pressure on us. Johnson will put that in. Fisher makes a great save there. And the game continues on. Lots of highlights here. So far, no goals. Lathrop with a throw, and we'll put it into Naismith, who gets tackled, but comes back out to Lathrop, who gets tackled, passes it, bounces it to Naismith, over to Marlowe. Marlowe back to O'Reilly. O'Reilly into Naismith. Naismith will shoot, and it gets blocked and comes out wide. To be fair, Naismith is on the ball constantly here. It's just he's not doing anything with the ball. He's got the corner. He will put it in, and no one can get there. It comes out to Anderson, and the highlight will end. Peterborough is beating Sunderland, so we have that going for us at least as well. Otherwise, Sunderland would be up ahead of us here, but now we are sitting 7 points in the relegation zone, so we do need to get some points on the board here, but we haven't looked particularly good attacking here. One shot on target. We have lots of shots way outside the net, so we've moved into working the ball in the box. We do have a free kick here as Naismith will stand over it again. He will put the ball in. Langston will get his head on it off the crossbar before it gets cleared out. But Langston touches it just before it goes out. And so we don't get the throw in. And that is it. So we are looking pretty decent on free kicks here so far. But that is about it. We are going to try to go out a little bit wider. We're going to try that. We're counter-pressing. We'll distribute quickly to try to get some better counterattacks going on. Say we've been unlucky. We're going to say we need more. We have faith in our attacker to get something going here. And we're going to move into the second half where we have a throw in our end. Bates will throw it to Langston, back out to Bates. Bates will carry on to that ball over to O'Reilly into Langton. Langston, who will kick it straight to their center back, and now they come back the other way as it comes out left to Cunningham. Pass it back into Johnson. Johnson will get tackled by Marlowe, but it comes to Cunningham, who will cross it in. And Emile Rees, who I have considered signing, will go in and put it in. And it looks like it was another giveaway from Naismith, it's saying, where he just didn't get the interception. Marlowe with a good tackle. Naismith is just wandering in the middle of nowhere, and O'Hara fails to pick up his man. We are down 2-0 here. So we are going to have to change this up. We're going to go more direct. We're going to pass into space. And we're going to start with a couple of those changes to go a little bit more attacking and hope that we can get something going here. McLeod has not been good. He's sitting at a 6.2, so he's going to come off, and Aufhauser will come in. Anderson has also been awful, so Morgan's going to come in on the left-hand side there. Making 2 changes the 56th minute because our attacking play has been non-existent. Story of our season. Sunderland has tied it up and has now gone ahead of us on a goal differential. Cunningham will throw it into Johnson. Oh, to Cunningham. Cunningham will get closed down well there. O'Reilly will clear it out, where Aufhauser will pick it up. He will carry it down that side using his pace to beat his men. He comes out wide and he gets tackled at the last minute by Ledson, but he does draw the penalty, and already he has created more in 6 minutes than McLeod did in 60. Naismith gets his shot saved. I can't with Naismith. Okay, he will take this corner, but then he's coming off. He's just has not done anything. He's gotten on the ball and that is about it. But he has been woeful with everything else. So he's driving me nuts. So we're going to have to do some swapperoos. We still have the ball here, though. So Griffith's going to pass it out to said Naismith. He can redeem himself here. He passes over to Marlowe. Marlowe will do a fancy little flick and pass it straight to. We're going to be more disciplined. I think that might be something that we need to do. So we just keep passing it straight to their players. With that, we are going to make the sub. Morgan's going to move over to the right-hand side. Charlie Brown's going to come in on that left-hand side. Morgan, I think he is right-footed. He is. So he's going to play as a winger. And Charlie Brown is left-footed, so he will also play as a winger. And that's our last sub already in at the 67th minute. We are going to demand more from our squad here. They didn't like it, but they should be doing more. That's what I'm going to say. Preston with the free kick, short into Reese. A great block there. Comes out to Aufhauser. Let's see what he can do on the ball here. He comes and he gets it out wide to Morgan. Morgan, who's been a hot hand scoring, will take the shot, but it goes right into their keeper's hand. And end the highlight. So we are going to let an opportunity slip in one of our more important games of the season so far in the relegation battle by dropping points and all the points and giving points away to Preston here as well. We have one more highlight to try to help our goal differential not be down 2. Bates will cross it into no one. Reese is going to be the first one there. And now Preston will have the ball. We'll launch it forward. O'Hara will get his butt over there. I am seeing a problem with the work rate in this game. Players don't seem to want to get onto the ball. O'Hara will launch it over to Brown. Brown will pass it back to O'Hara, who will launch it forward to no one. And Johnson will come back down, pass it into Reese, and instead of trying to improve our goal differential, it gets even worse as Emile Reese scores again. And we are going to go down 3-0 to Preston in a very poor performance. And we are definitely training tomorrow. 6.3 from McLeod, 6.2 from Naismith, 6.2 from Anderson, 3 players that I stepped off, 6.1 from Langston, 6.3 from Bates. Just not good performances all around, and we have dropped down by 1 point in the table as Sunderland is able to get a draw in their game, and so we really, really need to come in with a win against Sunderland here. Luckily, QPR looks like they dropped points as well. They drew, so they are now 5 points ahead of us here in the championship. With not too many games to go, so we need to turn it around here against Sunderland. In the intro, I said this was episode 5. This is actually episode 6. Time flies when you're having fun and not frustrated at all. This is how we're lining up against Sunderland in a must-win. Fisher remains in net. Langston moves out to the right-hand side. Bates will be in the center. Darling also will come into the center defense. Naismith is going to play on the left to give Lathrop a rest for this game. Kasumu returns from injury, but he's recommended only 45 minutes of action. But O'Reilly also needs a rest, so he will be at least starting to see if we can get something. Marlowe and Griffiths remains in that center midfield. Morgan will come in on the right. Anderson is still out on the left, and Aufhauser will be up as the striker. In replace for McLeod, as he did look good for the little bit of time that he was out there. I believe it might be his first start for us, as he was out on vacation for rest when he first came to us, and then has been playing on the as a sub. I forgot to do my opposition instructions. We are going to close down the outside. They do say that their goalkeeper is good in the air, so we are going to try to work the ball into the box rather than trying to rest on crosses this time around. So we will see what we can do against Sunderland, a big game here as we both sit on 30 points and in the relegation zone, both 6 points out of being safe. We are at home, but that really has not meant too much for us. But we are hoping for a much better result than our last game, much better performances than our last game against Preston. And so far, it looks like Sunderland has a little bit of the edge on the attacking front of it. We do have some good possession, but we do have a Sunderland highlight as it comes into Carroll. I thought we were going to get the interception there. They play around it on their back line as we put a little bit of pressure on there. Gallagher will win in the air down to Greenwood. There we go. Morgan will win the ball, and he's going to come down on the counter. He gets a slide tackle there. Oh, here comes the cat. Down you go. We are distribute quickly. Okay, continuing on. All right, come here. The highlight continues as Sunderland has the ball in their back end. We continue to pressure them. Gallagher will win that ball in the air again down to Epia. Epia will go across to Greenwood. Greenwood will pass it back to Carroll. Carroll will get it up to Gallagher, who will carry that ball and get tackled there by Bates, but it comes out to Greenwood, who will slot it in. Early impressions. Sorry, had to get rid of that cat. Early impressions is that Gallagher is causing us problems. And so I'm going to put someone right on him. That someone's going to be David Bates. As he's just being able to hold up that ball too easily there. And it cost us as it comes into a few times with no one really doing anything on him there. And this is the problem. The players just don't put in tackles if I don't have get stuck in. But if I do put get stuck in, they get red cards and get sent off. But we continue, hopefully, to get something. We do have a free kick here. And Naismith will stand over it. He will take the shot and ring it off of the post. Oh my goodness. This is where I feel like I am just unlucky, or Football Manager has it out for me here with things like this. In so many games, we, in both my saves here and with Chorley in Universe 2, is we dominate games but just don't score, and the other team scores every one of their chances. Sunderland will put it again up to Gallagher, who will head it on to Epia, but he's offside, luckily for us. But again, Gallagher has been the threat in the air, and our center defense are just not dealing with him there. But we get away with one, and we come into half. I have been checking my quick picks because I had to... Marlowe and Griffiths are tired at the beginning of this game, and it didn't put any midfielders again on my bench. So I have made that change where I do have some midfielders. Unfortunately, Kasumu is going to have to come off because he's only recommended for 50 minutes. So Freeman's going to come in for 45 minutes, and Griffith's going to go back onto DM, and John Freeman will come in as the Metskala. So the next signings that we're going to look to do in the summer will be some midfield depth, as we just don't have the quality players. Actually, we might have to do... Oh, you kidding me? A penalty? Oh, I can't with this team today. Greenwood will put it into the net. I just can't with this team today. That was an awful penalty to give away. And two winnable games for us, and we are not performing. Marlowe will take that down, and you will play it up into Offhauser, who will come down onto the goalie and will shoot it right at him. I signed you, Alfhauser and McLeod, to score those goals because my other strikers weren't, and neither are you. I don't know what is wrong with Football Manager, that every single team that I play with, their strikers shoot it right at the goalie. And someone help me with that. I do not understand how it doesn't matter the star rating, the finishing stat on my strikers. Aufhauser has a 11 finishing. It doesn't matter. No one can put the ball into the back of the frickin' net. Malachi. Or Malachi. I always want to say that. It is Malachi Black. That's fun. He's going to come in, but he is not much of a, despite saying defensive midfielder, not much of a defensive midfielder. Just because my players are all tired, and I don't know why, because they don't work very hard, so I don't know how they're always tired. Oh my gosh. I just don't know what to do. Oh, maybe I should have put up the tempo. That's what we'll try off camera, is my tempo is low, so maybe that's what it is. Alpha is just going to come off from a cloud. Just swapping these strikers back and forth. Hopefully one of them will be like, oh hey, this is a competition for this position. Maybe I should start putting balls into the net. Sunderland with another highlight. I will go across to Carroll. Carroll will put it into Neil. Neil will pass it back to Robinson, who has all the time in the world to put it forward to Apia, and Langston's going to get sent off. I just don't know. Just don't know. Come on. Thank you. Hi. And they get a highlight right off the free kick. Back to Carroll. This is my 4th red card since I've been at MK Dons, and they will score a worldly. Why can't any of my players do that? Oh, what is this game that I am playing? It's too early in the morning to be so frustrated right off the start. Way too early. I just don't know. Okay, I'm going to try to up the tempo, I guess, but you know what? We'll see you when we see you sometime in the future. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.